Welcome, everyone. You are tuning in to Engaging Walk. My name is Drake.
And my name is Rubie.
We believe in the power of walking together and talking together.
It's a simple act to stay connected, and movement is key.
This week, we will discuss the concept of learning about your spouse, yourself, and how your relationship can be viewed as two cups in a bowl.
And how you and your significant other can take time and make deep connections.
Yeah, so this week, this is our 5th episode. And we're like super thrilled at the amount of people that have been downloading the show on Spotify, on Google Podcasts. Like, we're pretty much everywhere. Wherever there's a podcast, you can find us. And we're super thrilled that people are tuning in and taking that time out of their day so that they can learn new skills, connect with us, with Engaging Walk, and then also to take those tools and connect with their loved ones.
Yeah, thank you so much for following us and listen to us. And as we are so appreciate you guys because you literally take time from your day and spend time with us. So thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, we also just wanted to make it known to our listeners that you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and we have our website, www.engagingwalk.com. You can go there and you can find our social media, and that will just really help us connect, and we can see like your comments. We're also on YouTube, and we can see like what your comments are, what you liked, what you like to see more of, and any comments that you have on the content so far. So again, thank you so much. We have a lot of people tuning in from United States, some from Western Europe, and it's super cool to see.
And then so many people from different states. And I remember we have two locations in California. So shout out to San Jose, woo woo, and then Texas.
Yeah.
And so the East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast.
And then I believe we have someone from Ohio too. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we had some folks from the Midwest. That's really exciting.
Yes.
And we love it. It's awesome. Super excited to see all the people tuning in.
And you know what? Maybe we could have our walks and not just in Southern California. We can go somewhere else where you guys lived, and maybe sometimes in San Jose, road trip to San Jose, or road trip to Texas. Who knows? That would be fun.
Yeah, leave us photos on the social media and let us know hey, take an engaging walk over here. This little known place is really nice. We also wanted to utilize our website so that folks can know some of the background information of what we're talking about. So especially last week where we talked about love languages, you can find a lot of that reference material on engagingwalk.com.
You will find if you're not familiar with 5 love language, you can find a definition, and also we can post the test that you can take with for yourself and your loved one, and also questions tailored to 5 love language, so you can ask your spouse if you don't I don't know what to ask them. We will put up a questionnaire for you so that you have an idea to ask.
Yeah, so that you can find that on engagingwalk.com. We'll have a page devoted to the episodes and the reference material that we use, so that you're hey, I'd like to take that test, or let's take that, we could take that test or read up on this topic. That's all going to be on there so that you can access it. And again, that's www.engagingwalk.com.
Pretty cool. All right, let's move to our this week episode.
Yeah, this week, like we said, we're going to discuss the art of learning about your spouse, and we're going to dive a little deeper into the concept of 2 cups in a bowl.
And this week we're going to walk at the Mission Valley Trail, California. It's really long trail and tons of, mountain climber there. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, there's rock climbing areas. There's beginner trails, more advanced trails, and I'm pretty sure that it's farther Junipero, Serra trails, or that area, but it's pretty much central north San Diego, and you'll see really, really beautiful trails there, especially with all the rain that we got this year in San Diego.
All right, you ready?
Ready as can be.
So let's talk about the art of learning about each other. What do you think about it?
Well, I think, going back to our story, we were dating for a while, and then we were getting to know each other, and like the relationship was picking up a lot of progress and a lot of steam, and it kind of there was an opportunity for that to get halted by a deployment that I went on in the Navy, but due to Rubie's thoughtfulness and her intentionality, we were able to use that time apart to still grow and learn about one another on a really deep level. And I think maybe even like the time of like not being physically in each other's presence still created an opportunity for us to like dive deep into who we are by communicating and by asking really deep questions. So some of the things that we did was we created like a list of things to do together. We created a lot of lists, but one of them was the list of things to do together when we got back.
Yeah.
And
right.
that was really helpful. And then we did DTR, Danny Stokes Define the Relationship, and a lot of other things that really helped us to connect on a personal level. What did you think about that time period?
Actually, I really appreciate that. I mean, I didn't like the deployment, but I appreciate and I'm grateful for that time because, like you mentioned, we didn't get to see each other face to face or physically be with each other in the same location. But somehow I felt like our relationship grew way more and deeper. And it just gave me so much opportunity to get to know you on a deeper level. Like, okay, I like this person, not because I'm attractive to his, physical appearance, but no, because he's intentional with his life, his goals. And I get to ask all kinds of questions. And I love how I understood that you were very busy, but yet you make time to, reach out to me on certain time a day. Like, okay, I know like this time he will reach out to me just to check in and also ask, answer the questions, and not just answer my questions. You also give me, all the questions from you. So the conversation is like two sides. And I feel like asking intentional questions is really helped me to connect with you.
Yeah, a lot of it was like we did a lot of like running documents together that were like
we have like a Google Drive just for us.
Just for us. Yeah, and it was like one of them was like 7 questions for Babe, because at that point we already had like that pet name for each other, and then we would just ask all sorts of questions like, what did you? It would be so much fun to review them, but it was a lot of it was like really just diving deep into who this person is, like what makes them tick, and growing off of that, and like turning those questions around. But a lot of it was also like, I guess you could say like practical about what we expected from like a family.
Yeah.
So like questions about like how many, really important questions to know, like, do you want children? How many children do you want? What kind of house do you see yourself living in? Like, where do you want to live?
Yeah. Are you willing to relocate if I have to move somewhere else? And I think because like when we get connect with each other through email and text, it's allow us to ask questions that deep and that it's kind of hard to ask face to face in conversation. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think just like with an engaging walk, when you go out on a walk, you have something else to focus on, i.e. like the scenery. So it's very different than like almost like a psychiatrist like table where you're just
staring
like
at
each other and just like
yeah,
eye contact the whole time and grilling each other and asking question after question. It could feel like an interrogation. Whereas like with an engaging walk, shameless plug, you go out on a walk and it's a little bit more distracting for you to ask those really deep questions. Like, so for example, if you're at that stage in your relationship where you're not married yet, but you're thinking about it. You're like, hey, this person might be the one, but you know what? I am very into having children, and I'm not sure where they're at with that question. They haven't really pointed one way or the other if they want children or not. That might be a good spot to ask. Hey, how do you feel about children? Do you want children? How many do you want? What's your timeline of when you would like to have children?
Yeah.
I remember one really shocking time for us was when we were on the deployment and Rubie and I started discussing marriage. And we were like, okay, yeah, that would be something that we both would like. But then like what came really shocking was when we discussed the timeline.
Yeah. Actually, it was not shocking. It was fun for me. I'm like, yeah, details. Because I'm a planner. But yeah, it's shocking for you.
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of details, like we had in our initial conversation the timeline to be much further down the road than then when we revisited the conversation, we were like, no, we can actually move this up.
Yeah.
And then when one of us broke the ice to introduce, I don't remember who it was, to introduce that idea of like happening or the marriage happening faster than the initial conversation, we were both relieved that we were like, oh, we're actually on the same page.
It was you.
Okay, well, I'm glad that it was me then, But yeah, so like you can have these really deep conversations. Maybe a Google Doc might work for you. Like if you're a couple and you're busy, you can start a Google Doc with and that really nice thing is you can do comments there.
Yeah.
So like if your significant other posts something, on the doc, you can like kind of highlight that and be like, hey, what did you mean? Or like, I really like this. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah. Well, since we talk about the art of learning your spouse, it's for me like it's not just like when you take an art class, you will have to go through very basic step first, so you understand the concept, but it's an art. So once you have the basic steps, it's up to you to tailor how you want to draw, the art, and you want to carry it out. It's just up to your creativities, and I feel like it's tailored, even though you hear a story from us, but it's your opportunity to tailor it into your marriage, to your relationship. And even if you're not seeing anyone yet, well, create one anyways. Like, how would you create, the learning curve for your future one? Because that's what I did. Like, I will imagine I have someone, and how would I want to do it so that for my preparation. Well, what about love? Let's talk about 3 things that we learned from each other recently.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about Rubie from this new experience of us raising a puppy together. So I learned how one example would be how I learned how much she loves affection, how affectionate Rubie is, and like not having because like this puppy that we have is not very affectionate. And she was like, the whole reason why we got a corgi was because they're supposed to be affectionate, and this dog is not affectionate. And I was like, hey, you know what? Like, she's still a puppy. She's going to grow into that. And for me, like, I didn't really care one way or the other if the dog was affectionate towards me, but that was really important for Rubie. And I can see why, because Rubie is very affectionate, and sort of highlighted like, hey, her love language is physical touch, and I can see like, if she's not getting that from the corgi girl.
I was frustrated. I'm like, my investment didn't go through the.
Yeah, so so definitely reiterated how important affection is towards, for Rubie, and it also sort of highlighted also for me how, I know this is kind of a weird thing to say, but how human she is.
Oh, wow.
Because Rubie is so very well put together and very well organized and so thoughtful and so intentional, and seeing